Hi everybody, it's Maureen Lein, your local lender with rate, here with this week's Mortgage Minute. This is where I share what's happening in the market and how it affects interest rates and impacts you. So today is Wednesday, January 28th, and it is about 9 a.m. And I'm going to first start with what's affecting interest rates. Well, the Federal Reserve did wrap up their two-day meeting, and the expectation is they're going to put a pause on interest rates and they're going to leave them unchanged. So while the Fed is waiting for inflation to cool further or for the labor market to weaken, some newer inflation data is already pointing in that direction. So let's talk about the labor market, because that is one of the big drivers of interest rates. And the consumer confidence just fell to its lowest level in nearly 12 years. And the big reason? Well, it's jobs. Fewer people feel jobs are plentiful. More people feel they're hard to get. And we are seeing large layoff announcements headed into the 2026. So on top of that, the recent private sector job data shows job growth is slowing. And this is something that Fed is going to be watching very closely, guys, because if labor continues to soften, that increases the odds of a rate cut later on this year. And where are we in regards to interest rates today? Well, mortgage rates did tick up slightly last week, but they are still about 0.75% lower than they were this time last year. And even more important, well, buyers are responding. As we mentioned last week, the purchase mortgage applications, well, they're up 18% year over year. And for the last 2 weeks, the buyer demand has been at the highest levels that we've seen in the past 3 years. And that's a big deal as we're headed into the spring market of 2026. Now, on the refinance side, as you can imagine, applications pulled back a little bit because the interest rates moved higher. And that just shows how rate sensitive interest or refinances are. But refinances are still up over 150% compared to last year. And lastly, let's talk about home prices. Well, the Case-Shiller Home Price Index, well, that showed that home prices are rising again, and that's marking the fourth straight month of gains. And the data does show that lower rates are bringing buyers back, which then supports these prices. So as rates ease and demand starts to increase, those home prices are starting to firm up again. So while the Fed may pause today in regards to the rates, the data does suggest we're moving closer to a more favorable rate environment in 2026. So that's it for today, everybody. If you're thinking about buying, thinking about refinancing, or just want to understand how this data affects you, reach out to me and I'm more than happy to talk with you. So, as always, don't forget to hit the like button and share, and I'll see you next week.